Welcome everyone. Today we will be learning about order of operations, which is another mathematics lesson by me, Mr. Martinson, your teacher. Um, so let's get started. What is order of operations, right? Is it, let's see, order of maybe of the phoenix? Is it related to that? No. Is it maybe the order of operation? Of course not. It's a little bit more mathematical. Ordering a cheeseburger, I think, is a little bit too, it's not mathematical enough, of course. Maybe it's the Order 66, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know what I'm talking about. But no, of course not. It's actually the rules that say which calculation comes first in an expression. So it really is just instruction, almost an instruction manual and a step-by-step process on how to solve math expressions, right? Kind of like a little recipe for what to do in these situations. So let's, and these instructions are actually very important. You can't just solve math expressions any way you want, because you'll come out with this, something that you didn't intend to come out with. Right? So in these two equations, they're exactly the same. One of them is correct and one of them is incorrect. But you can get both answers. One way they just did not use order of operations and they get the wrong answer, and the other they used order of operations and they got the right answer. So 8 is the correct answer. And so that's why order of operations is so important, so that when you're doing math expressions and equations, you're getting the correct answers. So let's before we go into the actual figuring out what the order of operations are, I'll give you a little symbol key here. If there's an x in any of the equations, that means it's multiplying. And then, of course, this little, the backslash is like a divide. So this means 6 divided by 2. And then the caret here, 4 caret 2 means 4 to the exponent of 2, or 4 squared. And then obviously plus and minus and equals are all as you would assume they are. There's nothing too complicated about those. So order of operations. What is it? So first you start with parentheses. Okay, so you look at the expression and you say, all right, where are the parentheses? If there are none, you move on. If there are some, then you solve what's inside. So here you always start with the parentheses. You'd go 4 minus 1, which would be 3, and then you can do the adding after, okay? Number 2, we have exponents. So for exponents, again, after we do the parentheses, you do the exponents, or if there are no parentheses, you start with exponents. So here we would start with 3 to the 2, and then we can add 9 and minus 3, etc. in the correct order after that. But we always start with exponents right after parentheses. Number 3 is multiplying and dividing, and this is actually kind of a grouped step. You can do dividing or multiplying first. It doesn't really matter. What you is the best way, though, is from left to right. Read it from left to right, just like you're reading these sentences. You start with 7 times 3, and then you go 4 divided by 2 down here, the number 3. So you have 21 plus 2. 21 plus 2 is 23. And so you just kind of read it from left to right is the simplest way to do those. And then finally, we do adding and subtracting, where you do very similarly. So here you would do 19 plus 200, 219, plus 10, right? Just going down the line, left to right. Plus 10, 229, minus 5, 224, right? So you just go left to right. You don't do adding or subtracting first every single time. You just go left to right with these. But these are all, of course, after you do the multiplying, dividing, and after you do exponents, and after you do parentheses. Right? So what we have here are the 6 different important things: parentheses, exponents, multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting. Right? So, and if you take the initials of all these, we have here PEMDAS, which many mathematicians have invented, and other math teachers have used the term PEMDAS as an acronym to remember. So if you remember PEMDAS, then you'll know, always remember parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. And in that order is how you'll solve all of your expressions. PEMDAS, right? So if we use PEMDAS here, we'll use this on an actual question together, right? So we have this expression, we're trying to simplify it, right? So first we do parentheses. So we look, right, PEMDAS, parentheses first. So 200 minus the 190, we get 10, right? So we have 10 here. Then after parentheses, we look, are there any more parentheses? Nope, no more parentheses. We go next to the exponents. Boom, exponents, 2 to the third, which is 8. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2, 8. There you go, do the exponents. And then we look, no more exponents. Okay, the next is multiplying and dividing from left to right. So we go from left to right. We have 100 plus, so we skip that. We see 16 divided by 4, there's the divide, and then minus 10 times 8. So you do those two separately. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 10 times 8 is 80, and that is how we get 4 minus 80. And then we follow it, AS, PEMDAS, we have addition and subtraction from left to right. 100 plus 4, 104, minus 80, right? Still on the AS part at the end is 24. And that's how you use PEMDAS, right? We started with P, we went to E, then M and D, and then A and S, and then we solved it all the way down to 24 being the simplest form, PEMDAS. Okay, so if we go over here, I have some extra examples for you guys. So if you need extra practice, right, you can use these and solve them. And we always remember to use PEMDAS. So if you want to do them right now, you can pause the video, and then when you pause the video, you can then do that work, and then the answers will be on the next page. Okay? Okay, good. So next we have the answers. I'll go through them with you. Boom. Okay, so first one, 10 minus 5 times x through PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S. We don't have P, we don't have E, but we have multiplication, so we do that first. 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Then we have subtraction, 10 minus 10, 0. Second one, 24 divided by 6 minus 5. Divide is always before subtract, right, through PEMDAS. So 24 divided by 6 is 4, minus 5 is negative 1. Next, we have parentheses, 9 minus 4, all times 3. So parentheses is first of PEMDAS, so 9 minus 4, which is 5. And then after parentheses, we have multiplication, because that's all that's left anyways. 5 times 3, 15. All right, down here, our fourth one. We have this big one, right? But this is where PEMDAS comes in. So we do P, parentheses, no parentheses, exponents, no exponents, multiplication and division. There, we got stuff. So we just go down the line left to right. 6 plus, no, 7 times 5, perfect. 7 times 5 is 35. Then 12 divided by 4, which is 3, divided by 3, which is 1. Okay, so then we have 6 plus 35 minus 1. 6 plus 35, 41. 41 minus 1, 40. There you go. And the last one, same thing as the rest, just do PEMDAS. P, parentheses, 2 times 4, 8. So 8, and then E, for exponents, 2 to the 2 is 4. So we have 48 divided by 8 plus 4 times 3 divided by 4. 48 divided by 8, right? We're doing multiplication now, so just left to right. 48 divided by 8 is 6 plus 4 times 3, which is 12, divided by 4, which is 3, right? So then we have 6 plus 3, finally at the end, just the adding, and there you go, 9. And that is how you use PEMDAS. And if you need extra help or questions, you can always ask me, as well as do extra work to help you remember PEMDAS and to do the order of operations correctly. And that is how you do the order of operations. So thank you for listening.